Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening and welcome to the National News Broadcast. I'm Stefan Dialwis and joining me tonight is Dulanjali Ananda. The government decides to close schools in selected areas for 1 week starting Monday. Long queues for fuel today as well. The Lanka Teachers Services Union decides to leave the OL answer script evaluation process based on the fuel problem. Dudley Sirisena says he has commenced a program today to issue rice at the controlled price. A youth who fled to the forest to protect himself from a bear has been found. Another incident of rescuing a person at the cost of life has been reported from Hasalaka. The England cricket team creates a new world record. The third Sri Lanka-Australia ODI is tomorrow. 21 persons killed due to lightning in Bangladesh since yesterday. Now for stories in more details. It has been decided to close schools for a period of 1 week starting next Monday in the Colombo Education Zone and in the suburbs in the Western Province as well as in schools in major towns in other provinces. The Ministry of Education says that the decision has been taken on account of the transport problems arisen due to the fuel crisis.
The ministry adds that education officials in all provinces, including the Western Province, have been granted permission to act in an appropriate manner in connection with schools not located in major towns. It has been pointed out that teachers and principals in schools in the regional level with a lesser number of students are not severely affected by the transportation difficulties. Therefore, permission has been given for the continuation of academic activities in such schools as usual. However, principals in schools who have the capability to maintain activities by taking into consideration the number of students and teachers in attendance are able to take suitable measures for the functioning of their schools upon discussion with the Director of Education in the relevant education zone. Students who are unable to attend classes could be provided to engage in studies via the online teaching methods. In order to facilitate online education, the Public Utility Commission has agreed not to engage in power cuts from 8 AM to 1 PM during the 1 week period. Evaluation of answer scripts of the GCE O-level examination is being conducted with effect from today. Commissioner General of Examinations LMND Dharmasena says that a methodology is being processed expeditiously if the staff assigned for the papers are confronting any problems with regard to fill. Commissioner General of Examinations LMND Dharmasena said that evaluation of answer scripts of the GCE O-level examination has commenced today. He added that problems pertaining to fuel have especially been reported from Galle, Anuradhapura, Tangol, Bandarawela and Badulla. However, cooperation has been extended in many areas. He added that they are studying the situation and taking measures to supply fuel to the needy areas. The Sri Lanka Examinations Department informs that the open competitive examination for recruitment to Class 3 of the Sri Lanka Foreign Service will be conducted tomorrow as scheduled. The department adds that examinations scheduled for today have also been conducted. However, the conducting of several examinations scheduled to be conducted in the next few days have been postponed until further notice. They include the practicals test for the state and provincial public services technical officers, competitive examination for recruitment to the post of service assistant in transactions of the People's Bank, limited competitive examination for recruitment to Class 3 of the Sri Lanka Scientific Service and senior technical examination of officials of the Engineering Assistance Service of the Department of Irrigation. The Board of Management of the Peradhan University has decided to temporarily suspend all academic activities of the university due to the prevailing problematic situation pertaining to fuel. Now, the Public Utility Commission says that the duration of the power cuts from next week will be determined by the quantity of fuel received.
Long fuel queues continue to be witnessed throughout the island. Filling stations in Velimada town have received petrol after several days. However, a tense situation had prevailed when police tried to turn away those who had attempted to break the fuel queues. Fuel distribution in filling stations around Kurunagala is being conducted as usual. Station owners says They are selecting the recipients through a draw of fuel coupons. The Lanka Teacher Services Union have decided to disassociate itself from the GCE O-level answer script evaluation process, citing fuel crisis. Teachers who have arrived in exam answer paper evaluation at stations in the Gold Town were engaged in a protest demanding fuel. All staff, including physicians at the Vattava Hospital in Mathugama, were engaged in a protest in front of the hospital in Mathugama today. The reason for the agitation was the obstructions in receiving fuel for the hospital vehicles. A tense situation has also occurred at a filling station in Maravilla when it failed to issue hidden stocks of petrol to the consumers. Officials of the Maravilla police station have intervened and opened the fuel tank, concealing the stocks, and took measures to distribute the oil to the consumers. A group was engaged in clashes upon depletion of fuel stocks at a filling station in Athrugiriya Junction last night. Several police officers were injured and properties of the station were damaged in the incident. The Athrugiriya police station is taking measures to arrest those responsible for the restless situation. A group of residents were engaged in a protest at the Athrugiriya Junction demanding to release those arrested in connection with the incident. The Petroleum Tank Owners Association requests the police to consolidate the security of the tanks at places where people are behaving in an unruly manner. Several social media have circulated a video footage of several cans of fuel being handed over to a motor car by a fuel bowser. It has been reported that the incident took place in the Marine Drive between Vellavatta and Kollupitia. The video clip also recorded scenes of police officials inspecting the bowser. A similar incident of a bowser providing cans of fuel to a motor car has also been circulated in the social websites today. Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara in a Twitter message says that 3 similar incidents have been reported. He further said that steps have been taken to cancel the permits of the relevant bowsers. He has also extended thanks to all those who have focused their attention on such illegal acts. Sri Lanka Cricket says a news item circulated in social websites regarding fuel has been provided to people at the Premadasa Stadium premises in Colombo is completely false. The Sri Lankan Cricket says that the stadium does not stockpile fuel in any manner or engage in the sale of fuel. A communique issued by Sri Lanka Cricket says a stock of fuel purchased from a Lanka IOC filling station is being stored at the R. Premadasa Stadium premises to fulfill the requirements of the Sri Lanka-Australia tournament tour. It points out that this fuel is also being used for maintenance of machinery for the day and night matches of the stadium and also for the activation of electricity generators. Gas stocks are being provided in restricted quantities in the Kottagala town. 960 cylinders of LAF gas were distributed among consumers who have waited in a line. These are scenes of stockpiling gas cylinders at a gas retail outlet in the Piliyandala town for the past 10 days.
A decline in the number of traders and consumers arriving in economic centres throughout the island has been witnessed. The reason is attributed to fuel problem and increase in prices of commodity items. Vegetable sales have been drastically dropped at the Dambulla Economic Centre. As a result, farmers have been subjected to extreme difficulties. Many lorries carrying stocks of vegetables reported to have arrived at the economic centres from many parts of the country at dawn today. However, it has also been reported that the arrival of traders from outstations has declined by more than 90%. The reason being traders having difficulties to reach the economic centres due to inability to receive fuel for transportation. The fuel shortage has also affected upcountry vegetable distribution at the Kapitipolis Special Economic Centre. Our correspondent says vegetable prices have come down with absence of traders from the outstations. These scenes depict the situation at the Bokundara Special Economic Centre. The arrival of consumers has been drastically declined. A rapid decline in the number of consumer arrivals has also been reported at the Ratmalani Special Economic Centre. The price levels of goods have remained at a high level. A similar situation has prevailed in the Narahempati Economic Centre, where a decline in the number of consumers and higher prices of goods were reported as a result of the fuel prices. Now, owner of the Aralia rice business establishment, Dudley Sirisena, says rice is being issued at the government-controlled prices from today.
At a media briefing today, he has requested other businessmen as well to issue rice at the controlled price. Rice businessman Dudley Sirisena said that the controlled price for Nadu rice is 220 rupees. For Samba rice, the price is 230 rupees, and for Kiri Samba, 260 rupees. There are enough paddy stocks for 3 months in the country. Sirisena further said not only Aralia rice but all rice stocks should come under the government's controlled price. He added that all rice producers should release their stock to the market.
Now, many groups have given prominence to agriculture in many parts in the island. Their aim is to successfully face any threats of an impending food shortage. Accordingly, paddy has been successfully cultivated in abandoned lands in Kandalandayaya and Girikumurayaya in Ratnapura. Farmers have commenced cultivations in 95 acres of land using organic fertilizer. A successful manioc plantation could be seen in all abandoned lands of Hinguragoda Paradeshi Sabha in Polonnaruwa. Our correspondent says there is a high demand for fertilizer produced at the organic fertilizer manufacturing yard of the Polonnaruwa Municipal Council. 2,000 kilos of organic manure is being manufactured by the Platasi Haritha Arana Refuse Management Unit. Food security programs have also got underway in the Anuradhapura, Palugasarava, Kakirava, Ipologama and Thalava Divisional Secretariat divisions. The Suvadai Land Management Project of Anuradhapura is providing financial aid for the program, being conducted under the direction of the Department of Agriculture in the North Central Province. Vegetable and fruit crops, which could yield a higher harvest in a short duration, have been introduced under these programs. Cultivating of 30 acres of land in Tan and the Hena, Gramanidari division in Kaduela, which have remained barren for 25 years, has commenced today. Divisional Secretary Kaduela, Chatra Mihidum and officials are engaged in the project using the assistance of the Sri Lanka Army. We have come across a farmer who is engaged in a 50-acre rambutan cultivation using organic fertilizer. He is Osman Gunasekara, who boasts of having 300 healthy rambutan plants. His produce is being exported to Middle East countries. Gunasekara procures water for the cultivations from 2 reservoirs dug by himself. The Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture, Rohana Pushpakumara, says that the next group of persons to be subjected to the attacks of the general public would be government officials who act in an irresponsible manner.
He further points out that the people will have to make extreme sacrifices in order to come out of the tormenting situation. The Agriculture Secretary has made these remarks participating in a food security program in the Nuwara district. He has also attended the opening of the Kalugala Food Centre in Ginigathena in parallel to this event. The food centre stocks and preserves many food items including tea, maize and jackfruit, enabling the general public to purchase them during longer periods. Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture Rohana Pushpakumara said that people discern when officials are failing to perform their duties appropriately. He also said that it is good to have a crisis as people will have to learn lessons from it. If the people failed or if the government failed to find the required funds, the country would fall further.
Now, Kapakaru Govi Bima program organised by the Sri Lanka Electronic Broadcasters Forum will be telecast live via all television and radio channels simultaneously for a period of 2 hours, starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. A panel of intellectuals will act as moderators of the program. The aim is to extend maximum support to the national program against the food crisis. Now, the youth who fled to the Echankulam to the Echankulam Reservoir Protectorate in Tambalagamu in fear of his life from an attack from a bear was found this afternoon. The disappeared youth was 22-year-old Sahul Rizwan of Tambalagamu.
The youth was reported to have gone to the Echankulam Lake Protectorate with 2 of his friends on the 16th of this month. After seeing a bear, the youth ran into the forest and climbed a tree. He has informed of the incident to his residents by giving a call from his phone. The police, the army and the residents were engaged in a joint search for the victim and found him this afternoon. He was admitted to the Kantale Base Hospital for treatment. A weekend express night train from Mount Lavinia to Kankasanture via Colombo Fort has commenced operations yesterday.
The Ministry of Transport and Highways say that the new train services are being deployed to grant redress to passengers affected by the fuel shortage. The train, which commences journey from the Mount Lavinia railway station at 10 p.m. on every Friday, reaches the Colombo Fort railway station at 10:30 p.m., halting at every station in between at Dehivala, Vallavat and Bambalapitiya. A ceremony held yesterday in connection with the leaving of the train from the Fort railway station was attended by a large gathering, including the Secretary to the Ministry of Transport and Highways, Ranjit Premasiri, and General Manager of Railways, Dhammika Jayasundara. The train on its way to Kankasanture stops at the railway stations in Gampaha, Veyangoda, Pulgahavela, Kurunagala, Anuradhapura, Vaunia, Kilinochi, Jaffna, Kondavale, Chunnakam and Kankasanture. The expected time of arrival of the train at the Anuradhapura railway station is 2:18 a.m. on the following day. It is also scheduled to reach the Jaffna railway station at 5:35 in the morning. The return journey from Kankasanture to Mount Lavinia starts at 10 a.m. on every Sunday. The train is expected to return to the Mount Lavinia railway station at 5:30 in the morning of the following day. The Minister of Transport and Highways says as remedy to confront the problem of vehicle and passenger congestion and high bus fares, similar additional trains will be deployed in the coastal and upcountry lines as well. Now, the Samag Janabala Vegas says a series of protests against the government will be launched from next Monday.
The party also calls on to hold an election speedily. The decision has been taken at a discussion of the parliamentary group of the party at the opposition leader's office. Parliamentarian Ranjit Bandara said that the government has failed completely to find a solution to the problem. The entire country is in a shaky position with the halting of distribution of fuel, gas and power supply. He added that the president must go home and that they will take the necessary steps to form an all-party government from Monday.
A policeman attached to the Hasalaka police station was able to rescue a woman drowning in a lake. The officer, Vincent Rajapaksa, engaged in traffic duties, spotted a woman at the Hasalaka lake and jumped into the lake and rescued the victim. Another youth has assisted the policeman in his effort. Hasalaka police station OIC Kapila Bandara has admitted the victim to the Hasalaka Regional Hospital. The 58-year-old widow was reported to have attempted to commit suicide over the sorrow of the demise of her husband. It has also been reported that she is without children and was seeking treatment for mental disorder.
2 persons were killed in road accidents in Kattua in Negombo today. The victims have been father and son in the same family. The 50-year-old father and the 16-year-old son, who were travelling in a three-wheeler, have met with the accident when their vehicle collided with a bus leaving for Jaffna from Colombo. The police says that the cause of the accident was the inability of the bus driver to control speed. The driver has been arrested and the Negombo police are conducting further investigations. 4 persons have been injured when a van clashed head-on with a three-wheeler in a Mahavava nearby. CCTV footages have recorded the incident and showed how the three-wheeler was severely damaged. A container vehicle heading out for Colombo from Haputale went down a precipice of around 1,000 feet at dawn today. It's time for a quick break. We will be back with international news.
හොඳම දේ විශ්වාසයෙන් ට්‍රීට් කරන්න. Prima Treats. Life is a treat.
අසීමාන්තික බලාපොරොත්තු කාලයත් සමඟ මියදෙන්නට නොදී සීනුවනින් යුතුව අලුත් ගමනකට සැරසෙන තාරුණ්‍යයේ පෙර ගමන සවිමත් කරන්නට NB අපි සූදානම්. මේ අසීරුම කාල සීමාවේදීත් 140ක වට්ටමක් අප ඔබට ලබා දෙන්නෙමු. NB Luxury Designer Wear. Hotline 0777 125 000.
Welcome back. On foreign news, foreign media reports at least 25 people died as floods cut a swath across northeastern India in Bangladesh, leaving millions of homes underwater. In India's Assam state, at least 9 people died in the floods and 2 million others saw their homes submerged in flood waters, according to the State Disaster Management Agency. Police officials say lightning strikes triggered by the storms had killed at least 21 people in Bangladesh since yesterday. Among them were 3 children aged 12 to 14 who were struck in the rural town of Nandayal. Another 4 people were killed when landslides hit their hillside homes in the port city of Chittagong. Both countries have asked the military to help with the severe flooding, which could worsen because rains are expected to continue over the weekend. The Brahmaputra, one of Asia's largest rivers, breached its mud embankments, inundating 3,000 villages and croplands in 28 of Assam's 33 districts. Several train services were cancelled in India.
A soldier from the Democratic Republic of Congo has been killed by police in neighboring Rwanda after he crossed the border and began shooting, Rwandan officials have said.
The Minister of Defense of United Kingdom's The incident comes amid rising tensions between the two countries. Congo accuses Rwanda of backing Congolese rebels and has halted all trade and cooperation agreements. Rwanda has denied supporting the M23 rebel group, which is weak sides seized control of the border town Bunaga. On Friday morning, the Congolese soldier armed with an AK-47 was shot dead 25 meters into Rwanda after he opened fire on security personnel and civilians, injuring 2 police officers, a statement from Rwanda Army said. A Rwanda policeman shot back in self-defense, killing this soldier, it added. Congo officials have confirmed an incident but have not given any details. Few days ago, an anti-Rwanda demonstration resulted in the looting of the Rwanda-owned shops. The authorities have also closed the border crossing with Rwanda. Rwanda has said it is not supporting the M23.
Welcome back, and now a look at sports news. The centenary international one-day cricket match between Sri Lanka and Australia will be played tomorrow at the R. Premadasa Stadium. The history of ODIs between the two countries dates back to the year 1975. Out of the 99 matches played so far, Australia has secured victories in 62 of them and Sri Lanka won 33. 4 matches had ended without a result. Australia took part in 5 ODIs with Sri Lanka team in the country and won 3 of them, and Sri Lanka won the rest. It was Australia who had secured victories in 3 of the final tournaments played in the country. Sri Lanka team had failed to win a single ODI with Australia in Sri Lanka since the year 1992. Australia won the first ODI of the current series against Sri Lanka at the Pallekele Stadium, and Sri Lanka won the second ODI at the same venue. Accordingly, both teams are tied up 1-1. The two countries were engaged in 15 ODIs at the R. Premadasa Stadium, and Sri Lanka won 8 of them and Australia 6. One match ended in a draw. Sri Lanka batsmen have exceeded the 300-run limit in the first match and won the second match due to the skills of the bowlers. The Australian cricket management says Marcus Stoinis, Sean Abbott, Kane Richardson, Aston Agar, Mitchell Starc and Mitchell Mars are in the injured list, and some of them may be deprived to compete in tomorrow's match. Vanidhu Hasaranga, who was unable to take part in the second ODI due to injury, is compelled to refrain from engaging in play for a period of 2 weeks. Therefore, he will not be able to take part in tomorrow's match and in the remaining ODIs. Tomorrow's match will commence at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo at 2:30 p.m. and the Channel Eye of the national television will bring a live commentary of the match starting at 1 p.m. The England cricket team has been successful in creating a new world record in one-day international cricket by scoring the highest runs. They have achieved this feat in the ODI of the current series against the Netherlands by scoring 498 runs. The previous record of the highest That's it for the news this evening. Have a good night.
Good night.